All right, here we go. That's it. You have my stuff, right?
Let's see.
Yes, you do.
There you go.
No, this is mine.
And that's yours too.
There you go. All right. Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It's been 3 months since I put any video out, and 5 months since I had an interview. But I have an interview today, and it's special. This is a phenomenal story. And we've been talking about it on the way to lunch, the way back from lunch, just sitting here before. And I will see if we can get it wrapped up in a reasonable amount of time, but it's worth the whole story. Um, so I'm having a brain fart here. Uh, so Lorna is a cancer survivor. And what she went through as an observer, I watched her go through, I really thought it was over for her. But you tell a story. First, let's start off with your biography. How long have you been, just the first question I have, then you can go on.
Okay.
How long have you been whole food plant-based?
About 16 years.
16 years. Okay, now give us a little of your biography.
Okay. So I'm a mother and I'm a wife. I've been married to my husband Doug for 42 years, and we have 2 adult children. Melissa's 36 and James is 40. I have 3 grandchildren. I live in Folsom, California. And just a little about what I like to do. I love to eat plant-based whole foods. I love nutrition and science, hikes, nature, and gardening. And I'm pleased to be here sharing my story today.
Yes, I approached her on this, and she was a little reluctant at first. But one of the reasons that I do this, and one of the reasons she agreed, is because we want to tell our story so that it will help other people. All right. So, what were your symptoms? How did you know you had cancer?
Most frequent question I get is, how did you know you had cancer? So there were some very mundane and boring symptoms: bloating, bad constipation, full feeling, and fatigue. Could be just about anything except for the full feeling. And that is a sign of specifically ovarian cancer. But all those symptoms are also pretty common generally. So I was alarmed by the changes, but not overly. And I wasn't overly concerned. And that was for both January and February of 2024. But by late February, my symptoms were severe. Everybody was noticing Lorna is losing weight, and I was eating a lot. I've always eaten a lot. The more severe symptoms were a belly that looked pregnant, and there's no way I could be pregnant. So I wondered what's going on, and then my body looked like a skeleton, and the skin was hanging off. Where there was fat, now there's just it's just hanging. The fat's just hanging down. I was scared because that is not normal. So I many calls to my doctors, many calls to the ER later. I have some symptoms that can't be ignored. My belly just kept getting bigger, my skin hanging out off the bone even further. I was on lunch with my daughter. I felt pretty good, except for feeling something was on my stomach, a lot of pressure. So had a great lunch with my daughter, a little bit of a walk. I wasn't feeling well, but I didn't want to tell her. I didn't want to upset her. Get home, and the food starts to come up. So now I can't keep the food down. Well, what's going on? That's lunchtime. By 5 o'clock, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm not feeling well. And my husband said, "You have got to go into the ER." I said, "Well, they won't listen to me." He said, "You have to go." And I guess part of me didn't want to know because I knew it must be something dramatic. It just, nothing was right. So the symptoms went from mundane to very severe, and so off I went to the ER, and I was glad to be there because I wanted to find out what was going on with me. But there were a lot of tests and a lot of waiting in crowded rooms with no information on what's going on, and still no answers. And this went on from 5 until late into the night. And all they could tell me was, well, you'll need to be in touch with your doctors and your care team. And I said, well, but why? Well, we don't know that much yet, and you'll have to talk to the ER doctor. ER doctor about 2 in the morning on a gurney in a dark hallway because there's no place to put me. It's very loud, it's very noisy, barely room on the gurney to get comfortable. My husband's in a chair. We can't really touch each other or interact much physically. And ER doctor comes and she says, you have ascites and a mass on your omentum.
You have a what?
A mass on my omentum.
Okay.
We didn't know what either one of those meant. And I said, well, can you explain more? No, not really. I don't know that much about your cancer. I don't see this very often. You're going to get care through other doctors. We'll take it from here.
But she told you it was cancer.
She did tell me it was cancer. She didn't say for sure. She said it's
might be.
I don't know that much. It could definitely be cancer. That was a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
But she didn't know that much about it. She didn't want to say very much. And then she walked away. And we were left with, okay, let's look up ascites. Let's look up omentum. Let's look up mass. We looked it up. It looked like I had about 2 months to live, and that's what we actually thought.
Now, what kind of cancer are we talking about? We haven't really told the viewer what kind of cancer.
Well, she didn't know for sure, but it was looking like ovarian.
Okay.
It was looking like ovarian, and that's what my grandmother had. And so that would be in my family.
Is there more than one kind of ovarian cancer?
Yes, it ends up that I have a very rare form of ovarian cancer. It's called primary peritoneal. It has worse outcomes. So we didn't know that at the time. We just knew it was severe because ascites, which is water with cancer mixed in, is a sign of an advanced cancer, and those don't turn out well, as what we read anyway. And so we started calling our loved ones because we thought I might not be around that long, and I was, of course, devastated. My world ended, and I wanted Doug to sit on the gurney with me and comfort me, but he couldn't. We couldn't stand in the hallway. We couldn't comfort each other. And that was for quite a while. Several hours passed, and we get moved from the hallway to a very crowded and still barely room to move, bustling ER, a big open room, where we proceed to get the CT scan, the ultrasound results that show these couple masses and most likely cancer. It's in the lungs. It looks severe. Have to be biopsied and have to confirm everything. But my doctors don't know this. The doctors continue to tell me, well, you're going to be in touch with oncology. And I didn't even know what oncology was. Oncology is cancer, oncology team. And when I asked them about the test results, they said, well, we don't have those, but we did. So we knew it wasn't good. And so I get 4, the ascites was what was the clue that I had advanced cancer. I got 4.5 liters of ascites drained from me, which made me feel so much better. and sent home.
4.5 liters of what?
Ascites.
And what is that?
It's a fluid in your abdomen, or it could be in your lungs. I did have it in my lungs too.
But when they
The
removed
fluid.
that, and they removed the fluid, you felt better.
Right, much better.
Okay.
It relieved a lot of the pressure. I felt pressure, very uncomfortable. So that was on March 3rd. On March 4th, I was released, went home, got more confirmation that it was ovarian cancer, because they did find it in the fluid. They found the cancer in the fluid. So a talk with my oncologist ensued next. Had several talks with oncologists where I could tell you what they said. I'll just to look at my notes. So the ER visit.
What I want to interrupt
Yeah, what
you
do you
for a
want now?
second is that what you have to understand is you knew nothing going into this, and you have done a phenomenal amount of personal research.
Of course, yeah. I want to know what's going on.
Because her life depended on
My
it.
life. Oh yes, I'm.
And I just think that's one of the things that's really, I mean, I've known you for 9 years. You're one of the first persons that I met on my whole food plant-based journey. And just the way you threw yourself into this, and
Yep.
and you not only thought, I mean, this is terrible. You thought you were dying. Doug thought you were
Yep,
dying.
we
So
did.
all of the rest of us thought you were dying.
Yes.
I mean,
I didn't look good.
You looked terrible.
Yeah, I went to some of the meetups and that did not look good.
I thought it was just so bad. And
they didn't recognize me. Lorna,
no, really.
Is that you?
Yeah, really, we didn't. So go ahead. I would like you to go to, if you're near it, is the turning point.
Okay, so I did the traditional chemotherapy and some things like anti-cancer. I ate this big anti-cancer fighting salad, crispy cancer, which I get very passionate about. All these foods are anti-cancer foods, anti-cancer.
And she does.
Broccoli,
she knows every one of them.
And I do my best to have all of these every day, and have for nearly a year of this journey, because that's about how long. Well, it's been over a year. It's been a year and nearly 6 months of a journey. So I've been doing this and loving it, because it makes me feel like I have agency, like there's something I can do that will affect the outcome. And I feel the same way about exercise. I feel the same way about looking into treatments that work, whether they're alternative, whether they're conventional. It just need to have research, and lots of good research, and that's what I look at, and testimonials and examples of people's cancer is being cured. So many nights, many books later, I have what I do for my cancer, and I do it because I want to live, and because I don't want this cancer to take over my life. And I want to have agency, and I want others to have agency, and I want to be able to cure cancer. And I know that sounds crazy, but not me personally, just the whole world getting their story out, saying, let's do something. Let's not sit around.
You want to see your grandchildren.
Absolutely. I want to see them graduate. I want to see them grow up. I have a very good life. I'm very happy, very grateful, and even more grateful now that I have the cancer. And we could get to what happened, with 2 surgeries. I had 2 surgeries. The first one wasn't looking so good. Is that where you want to go from here?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, how many surgeries did you have?
I had 2
surgeries.
surgeries.
How long and what kind of, and how long were you on chemo?
I was on chemo 9 rounds, which is about 27 treatments, and it was April through end of December.
That's a while. Was it rough on you, the chemo?
It was, but not terribly. Just I had it good, and a lot of times with this type of treatment, which is very harsh on your body, it's hard on your body, but people do tolerate it pretty well as long as they're
Yeah.
healthy. They tolerate, and their age, being 62, is pretty good age.
What did your doctor say to you about your health in general? You told me in the car, you said that they kept telling you that you were in very good shape and that gave you a good chance to beat the cancer.
That's what they said over and over. At every opportunity, we see people beat these odds, and we feel like you are going to be one of them. We don't see we see progress being made. We see you making progress. We see you doing well, and uh, and this they said that this happens with, if you start out healthy and you stay healthy and you do the lifestyle changes, which to them is the conventional therapy and exercise. Um, they don't say much about food, and when I mention food, they don't comment on it. Just
Yeah.
kind of blank stares, but they do say over and over again. They've said you're very well nourished.
Yes.
They say that, and so it's. They did compliment me several times on the way I take care of myself and the way I eat. Um, so they did notice. Did they notice enough to maybe figure things out for them, for them and their loved ones if they were to get cancer? I don't feel like they did. They didn't want to know what I was doing. They just said, well, we don't, we don't keep records. We don't ask.
Right.
And I
They don't
really,
have a protocol for it. Right.
no, they don't have any place to just any way of going over anything, because I asked them many times, what do the ones that survive do? And they
So
said, we don't keep records, we don't ask. They keep coming back. They don't have the cancer, 10 years, and we don't ask them. We don't get into it. When I told them what I was doing, and that I thought it had a big effect, they just looked at me with blank stares. So
yeah.
that's not their thing. So that was very
I-
obvious. It's not their thing. Very clear. And that's just what they do. They do conventional therapy. And if you want more, you have to have the agency in your own life to go seek it out and go figure out what is out there for you. If you're not into research, which I am, I like the science, I like studying it, then that's okay too, because everybody handles things differently. But um, as many people as want to share your story, get it out there, let people know that there's hope for these very advanced cancers, and that it's
You
time
had it
to.
really advanced too, didn't you?
It was,
Stage 4. I mean,
yes,
really,
it was
it
in my
was
lungs. It was in
all of
most of my abdomen, um, and it was very hard to get out. The first surgery was unsuccessful because the my body parts were stuck together. The cancer was stuck to my colon and my abdomen in the front, sides, and back. So it's just in there, and it took 5 hours just to get one side loose. Um,
What is your situation now with cancer?
so after the 27 treatments and doing everything I do on my own, I'm in remission. So that means that they don't see any cancer. Last CT scan was clear. So that's 6 months in remission, and very grateful for God, support, prayer, everything that helped me, exercise, a wonderful diet that was discovered by so many people who study this. and people like Chris B. Cancer, who talks about it in his books, and numerous other people that will tell you exactly what you need to do. If you don't read the books and you don't research, you can have somebody else read it and tell you what it says. And I mentioned social support, people like Al and the meetup groups and friends and family. I had family come in and pray with me. I had prayer warriors all over the country praying for me, and I welcomed them. I prayed myself. I meditated in my own way, and then
So
research.
basically,
Yeah, research.
yeah, my take on it is she did a lot of research, and with the research, she used what I call an intelligent shotgun approach.
Yep.
And it's she said prayer, supplements, and whatever. And to me, the research is like you said, research.
It's
All
kind
right.
of boring, but if it
Well,
when it's your
it's
life,
life
you
saving.
find it a
Yes,
little bit more interesting.
yes, you do. All right. I think that should be it. Anything you think we missed?
I would like to say that I did turn orange and did make my surgeons on the first surgery very nervous. They weren't going to do the surgery, but 2 hours later, came back clear. I was healthy, and it turns out the orange was from the carrot juicing.
Oh, yes, that's very common. Yes.
So yeah, the carrot juice did the trick with turning me orange. So I did turn orange. Thank you, Al, and
Thank you
appreciate
so much.
being able to share. And I hope
Just as a backstory, we went to lunch with my wife and Sue Hale, and we were in the car, the four of us, and it was just phenomenal. We were all in awe. It is, which is why I'm doing this video. When you see somebody that the determination to admit to this and take it on and do the research and spend the effort and have the determination, it's inspiring. Thank you so much.
thank you.